Hello, my name is Linukamanol Kottigora, and today I will be testing my Computer Science NEA. My NEA is a hotel management system. It consists of 3 files: hotel, hotel class, and room index pi. Hotel is the file where most of the functions and subroutines are. That's where we will be for most of the time. Hotel class is where the class object, where the classes and class functions are stored, and room index is the room creation tool. We'll start with room index because it's necessary to initialize the rooms of the database before moving on to the main hotel program. So we'll run room index, and we're shown that there are 3 types to choose from, which are the 3 sample rooms that have been initialized in the database. So I'm going to write some room numbers down along with the room type. There's a confirmation message. By pressing N, the data that you've inputted won't be input into the database, so it lets users make sure that the information that they input was accurate. So let's make several rooms. Two double Y 103 double Y 104 deluxe Y 105 105 deluxe Y, and we'll test out the end to redo feature here. 106 single and N. If the code is to work, 106 should not be recorded in the database. So we input false, and as you can see, a tutorial 14 database has been created. So we can look at the file itself, and as you can see, a database has been created. We can open it to see how the table looks. And there's our room index. There's the rooms that we've created for our hotel management system. Okay, looking through hotel class, we've got the main class for rooms, we've got its attributes, and we've got some functions. The get price, get description, and get name are all used to return the individual attributes, with get room details being used to attain the attributes, to print the attributes out to display the room details. In general, we can't run this file, but it's used a lot in hotel.py. So when we run hotel.py, what happens first is that initial room data and initialize user are run. These create the rooms, the room description table and the login table. We import these libraries with random, matplotlib, numpy, and SQLite 3, we import the classes from hotel class. We import the classrooms from hotel class, and we initialize these arrays. Username underscore all holds the sample username and password. Password all stores all of the sample passwords. Random check is an array that we use to ensure that the user IDs that we will generate further on in the program are completely random and unique. End equals false is used to signify the start of the program and get hotel Python running. So initial room data creates the table. It assigns attributes to the room 1, room 2, and room 3 objects. It assigns each of their attributes to an individual variable and inserts the information into the table of the database. Initialize user inserts the usernames and passwords into the database. These only work the first time the program is ever run, because afterwards, when the create table line is run, an error occurs and it will go to the except part of the subroutine and go to pass, because a table of the same name cannot be created twice in the database. So we're going to run this and we're going to see if it works. So I'm going to run hotel. So there we have the welcome message, and that's from login confirmation, which basically fetches the which basically requests the username and password information. We'll have another look at our database, and hopefully it will have the tables that we've created. Yeah, there's the login table and there's the room desk table that we've created. This is the room index from earlier. This is the login table with the sample usernames and passwords. And here's the room description table with the sample room types, the sample prices, and the sample descriptions. We can change the prices later on and add new room types to the room desk table. We can change the passwords of the login table. So now we're going to test the username. We're going to test the login to see if it can validate usernames and passwords and check if they're accurate. So I'll write something random for the username, something random for the password, and as you can see, the code rejects it. So we'll try inputting the accurate details. Alright, that proceeds to the next menu, which is to allow the user to select which part of the code to go to. For now, we're going to just close the program by clicking on X and test that out. And as you can see, the code ends, printing a thank you message. We're going to try emp first, the emp authority level, or employee. This is to check whether the authority validation works. So we're going to try entering adjust rooms. So emp can only enter record new customers and X to close the program. It cannot change the passwords of the users, and it cannot adjust room data. So we'll try to adjust room data. As you can see, it says does not have required level of authority to access, redirecting. Okay, we'll try to change the passwords. As you can see, that also does not work. Now to admin, which can access. Oh, right. I'll try to access the information, try to access record entries through employee to show that that will work. As you can see, the employee has access to record entries. Now we'll enter a customer's name. In this example, we'll just use a series of A's and a random string of numbers. We'll say 2 days, and as you can see, the room data has been fetched. The sample room data from the table. And we can pick a room type from here. So let's say single. And as you can see, the rooms that we've initialized before are available to be selected. Let's go with 10. Let's first check to validate the room number. So let's pick something like that. It says that the room entered is unavailable. We'll try another room number. Let's try 103. This is one of the double rooms. This shouldn't work either. As you can see, even that is invalid. We'll go back to R, and actually we should go back to the very beginning. Two days, and let's test whether a room type that is not in the room description table works. Let's try this. It says invalid room name and that the name is cap sensitive. This is a form of the validation. We'll try single now. 100 and 101. We'll try 100, and the customer has been recorded. We can enter Y to record the next name. But first, let's see how the database looks. So, in the process of recording the entries, we've created two new tables. The rooms table, which has these fields, the days booked, and the room number are things that we've input into the table using parameterized SQL. And the user ID has been uniquely generated in the record entries subroutine. The user table holds the user ID, the name, the phone number, and also the room number. So we can see that the data that we've input is available here. Okay, let's try to record another name, and we get redirected back to the start of the subroutine. We'll enter a new customer's name. We'll use a series of B's, and we'll say 1 day. So we'll go for deluxe and 104. This time we'll say that there's no more people to enter into the database, and so we'll click on N. When we click on N, it shows a message that asks if the day has ended. This is to simulate the progress of time. If we press enter, the day does not go forward, and we get back to the login screen where we can go again. Let's try using the M user to record some entries. So let's use C as the new customer name, and let's say 2 days. Let's go with double 103 N, and this time let's press E to signify that the day has ended and we're going on to the next day. As you can see, the user that only had 1 day left has been shown to have to check out by tomorrow or the next day, because they only had 1 day left and they only booked 1 day. The total income that had been obtained today is 830. That's the daily revenue, and the total income due is 480 and that's the total income we're due to receive afterwards. By pressing Y, we can go to analytics, but since we've only recorded 1 day, there isn't going to be any graph that's stored. There's also insufficient days to make an accurate projection of future earnings because there's only been 1 day. The code prints out an extrapolated data using the line of best fit to find the amount of revenue the hotel will aim to make daily 7 days into the future. So until then, we'll try looking at the other features of the program. Let's check the C to change passwords. We'll try to change the employee password, and the new password is 1234 instead of 0000. We can test it out here, and as you can see, it doesn't work. Let's try the new password, and it works. We'll close the program and try again, and change the employee password back. So to change password, what's the new password? 1234. But let's test what happens if we use a different user type. Like if we don't use emp or admin, then it will repeat and wait until one of emp or admin is used. We'll use emp and input the new password. And yeah, as we can see, the password has been changed successfully. We can look at the database now that it's been updated to see what has happened to it. There's the login, and there's the new password. Monthly is the table that gets made when we calculate the revenue that we've earned, the daily revenue. It stores the daily revenue along with the day, and it's using this table and using the day as the x-axis and the revenue as the y-axis that we create the graph. Next, we'll look at adjusting room information. So let's try to use. First, let's try to access it through emp or employee. If we try to adjust room data with employee, it doesn't work. So let's try accessing it with admin. And as you can see, it works. We can change the price, create a new room, or exit back to the login. So let's try to create a new room. No, let's try to change the price of single. Let's change the price of single from, let's change the price of single from, what was the price of single? Let's change the price of single from 200 to 180. There. It prints out the information of each room once it's done. And that shows that the database has been changed. Let's try recording a room to see if it's changed. Let's make the next customer E, because I think we've already used D. And let's say 1 day. And as you can see, single's price has changed to 180. Let's try single 101 and exit back to the main menu and go to the next day. These three have to leave, have to check out, and the income that's been obtained is 640. There's a problem with the total income due that I wasn't able to fix by the looks of it, and it'll probably be removed from the final solution. We can look at analytics now to see what it looks like, and as you can see, the 2 points have been plotted along with a dotted line of best fit. However, it's not nearly enough to be a proper graph or to make proper predictions of future revenue. We'll try the next function of adjust room data, which is to create a new room type, and we'll see whether that works. N is to create a new room, and we'll enter the name of the new room. We'll call it Deluxe Double. A larger deluxe room for 2 people. And we'll enter the room's price at 450. Let's check if it's been updated in the database. There's the login, there's the room index, room description, and there we can see that it's been adjusted to the table. We use parameterized SQL to make that happen. The rooms table and user tables are empty because everyone has left the hotel by now. But we can add more people to it and test if whether it gets displayed when recording. Test if whether the deluxe double is also displayed with the other types of rooms when recording our entries. Let's try to enter the next customer, and as you can see, deluxe, deluxe double, double, and single. If we were to enter deluxe double now though, we'd find that there are no available rooms because we haven't created any in room index. In this sort of a situation, it's better to exit back to the main menu and just end the program and create a deluxe double room. When we open here, we'll find that deluxe, deluxe double, double, and single are all room types to choose from. So we'll try 110 and make it deluxe double. We'll make sure that we've entered it correctly, press Y, and false. There. Now we can go back to hotel and book a deluxe double room. There's the room that we created, and we've reached it. We're going to see what it looks like to have 3 days entered in the graph. So the total income that's been obtained today is 450 because FF, the string of F's, the string of G's, the customer name, or there's only one customer in the table, which is the deluxe double room, and the deluxe double room's price per day is 450, and they're staying for another 2 days, so 900 is left. I think there isn't a problem with total income. I think previously it was showing 0 because by the next day there would be no one left in the hotel, and that's why it showed 0. That was a error in my part. So the total income due does work. We'll look at analytics for the past 3 days, and as you can see, it's still not very well designed. There's too few days to make a proper graph with. So we're going to try, once we're done testing everything out, we're going to try a previous database that was created with multiple days in it, and we're going to see how that looks. I think that's everything in the program that we've done. Yeah. Now we'll see what the graph looks like with even more data. The new data set has 19 days of data. So by entering one more day of data, we'll be able to view the future earnings. So we're going to use this tutorial database. We're going to copy it just to see what it would look like if the database had even more data. So we're going to edit it to be tutorial 14. We're going to view it in the hotel, see what it looks like. It's got 6 tables. It's got login, and in monthly, it's got 15 days of data. So let's go record for another 5 days, and let's see what the final outcome looks like. So admin 4. So in this database, I created a studio room type, a testing room type, a single, a double, and a deluxe. So I'll use a single, NE. These are the people who have to leave by tomorrow morning. And let's look. This is the revenue obtained today. This is the income due after today. And here we can look at the analytics for the last 30 days. There. that's what it would look like with a larger sample. And there's the line of best fit. There seems to be a problem with the way Python is running. And I'll try starting again. We'll input a few more customers and for a few more days and see if we can see what will happen once we reach 20 days. So we go to N, end of day, go to Y, and we can see the graph. Though I think it didn't close earlier because I didn't close the graph. I think that was the problem. Try recording another day's entries. As you can see, we're on 17 days right now. We've said no to viewing analytics, and that's what happens if we click on N when it goes to view analytics. It just goes to the menu again. Now we'll enter the customer for say 5 days. Deluxe 3 and we can see that right now we've got 19 days. We just need one more day of entries. So let's go to double 121 N E, and after this it should show the future earnings predicted through the line of best fit. After this, I mean. Here's the graph, here's the line of best fit, and there's an error. Oh, it was a rather simple error that I made. This SM money needs the gradient and the intercept. There's SM money, there's gradient, intercept, and x-axis. Where is that x-axis? And this should work now. We'll just enter one more user. Let's say show y's 5 double again 101 N and then E. Let's look at the analytics. So we've got the graph, we've got the trend line, and we get the estimated daily revenue a week from now by looking at the graph and concluding that 7 days from the current day, the daily revenue will be 1,295. I think that is all of the testing. And I think one thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that this data that's being printed is printed through OOP, where each of the rooms in room data where for I in range of the array with all of the room type, of all of the room types are taken, their price is fetched using parameterized SQL, their description is fetched, and they're stored in an object. The function is applied to the object, and it does so for all of the items in the room type list. So I think that is all for the testing video. Thank you.